Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a world long before modern cities, before electricity, before nations as we know them today. In the quiet darkness of ancient time, beside the slow-moving waters of the Tiber River, a small settlement rests beneath the stars. No one here yet knows that this simple place will one day command armies, shape civilizations, and leave a legacy that echoes across thousands of years. This is Rome, a city born not from certainty, but from myth, from whispered legends passed gently from one generation to the next. They tell of twin brothers, abandoned at birth, left to fate by a fearful ruler, saved by nature itself, raised in silence, guided by destiny. One brother would fall, the other would rise. And from that moment, Rome's story would be written in sacrifice. As the night deepens, Rome slowly awakens. At first, it is ruled by kings, some wise, some cruel. Temples rise, rituals begin, and calendars take shape. Yet power is fragile. Kings vanish into storms. Thrones are stained with betrayal, and eventually, the people decide they will no longer bow to a crown. Thus begins the Roman Republic. In this new Rome, voices speak of law, duty, and honor. Senators gather beneath stone halls. Soldiers march beneath banners fluttering softly in the wind. But beneath the calm surface, tension grows. Wealth gathers in the hands of the few, while the many struggle to be heard. Far beyond Rome's walls, distant lands wait in silence. Italy falls. Then Carthage, then Spain and Africa. Each victory brings glory, and each victory brings greed. The Roman army changes. Soldiers no longer fight for the Republic alone, but for the generals who promise them land, reward, and loyalty. And slowly, quietly, the balance of power begins to slip. In the stillness of history, a single name rises above the rest. Julius Caesar. A general loved by his soldiers, feared by the Senate. When he crosses the Rubicon River, Rome holds its breath. There is no turning back. Civil war follows. Allies fall. Enemies kneel. And at the height of his power, Caesar is struck down. Not by strangers, but by men he once trusted. The night grows heavy again. Rome weeps, but Rome does not rest. From chaos emerges a new ruler, Octavian, later known as Augustus. Under his calm control, the empire breathes. Roads stretch across continents. Cities glow with marble and light. Peace settles over the Roman world like a gentle dream. This is the Pax Romana, a time of order, prosperity, and quiet strength. Yet time never stops. Emperors rise and fall. Some rule wisely. Others rule through fear. Fire consumes the city. Crowds cheer, then turn silent. In distant provinces, new beliefs begin to spread. Beliefs that challenge ancient gods and old traditions. Rome resists, then transforms. A new capital is built in the east, shining beside the waters of Byzantium. Rome is no longer just one city. It is an idea stretched across continents and centuries. But even the greatest empires grow tired. Borders weaken. Enemies press closer. Power divides. And in the quiet year of 476 AD, the western half of the Roman Empire fades into history. Yet Rome does not truly die. Its laws remain, its roads endure. Its language lives on, and its story continues, whispered through time, carried gently into the present. This is the story you're about to hear. Rest now, and let history guide your dreams. The influence of ancient Rome can still be felt across the modern world. From systems of law and government to architecture, engineering, language, and art, Roman civilization left a lasting mark on human history. Yet Rome's story begins not with written records, but with legend. According to myth, Rome's origins trace back to the Latin city of Alba Longa. Twin boys, Romulus and Remus, were born to Mars, the god of war, and a mortal woman. Their great uncle, fearing they might challenge his rule, ordered the infants to be killed. Instead, they were abandoned near the Tiber River, where they survived and were famously cared for by a she-wolf before being raised by a poor shepherd. When they grew up, the brothers decided to build a city of their own. However, a dispute over where the city should stand ended in tragedy when Romulus killed Remus. Romulus became the first king and named the city Rome. To strengthen the population, Rome was declared an asylum, welcoming outsiders and fugitives. With too few women, Roman men abducted women from neighboring Sabine tribes, an event remembered as the abduction of the Sabine women. Eventually, peace was restored, and Roman and Sabine leaders ruled together. Rome's early kings often met mysterious or violent ends. Romulus disappeared during a storm, and was later worshipped as the god Quirinus. His successor, Numa Pompilius, shaped Rome's religious traditions, introducing temples, priesthoods, and a structured calendar. In total, 7 kings ruled Rome. The last, Tarquin the Proud, was a tyrant who was overthrown by the people. In the 6th century BCE, Rome abandoned monarchy and became a republic. In the Roman Republic, political power rested with elite families known as patricians. Ordinary citizens, called plebeians, were largely excluded. Over time, protests forced reforms, including written laws known as the 12 Tables, and elected officials to represent plebeian interests. Despite these changes, true equality remained limited. Rome expanded relentlessly through warfare, conquering all of Italy and later defeating Carthage in the Punic Wars. These victories gave Rome control of territories in Spain and North Africa, making it the dominant power of the Mediterranean world by the 2nd century BCE. Military reforms by General Marius transformed the army. Soldiers were paid wages and promised land after service, creating loyalty to individual commanders rather than the state. This shift fueled corruption and ambition. Civil war erupted when General Sulla marched his army into Rome itself. In 49 BCE, Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon River, openly defying the Senate. His rival Pompey was defeated and later assassinated in Egypt. Caesar's alliance and romance with Cleopatra reshaped Egypt's fate. Back in Rome, Caesar's popularity soared. Declared dictator for life, he alarmed the Senate, and in 44 BCE he was assassinated on the Ides of March. Instead of restoring the Republic, his death led to more civil war. The struggle for power involved Mark Antony, Cleopatra, and Caesar's adopted heir Octavian. Octavian emerged victorious, while Antony and Cleopatra died. Egypt fell under Roman control, and the Republic officially ended. In 27 BCE, Octavian became Augustus, Rome's first emperor. Though he maintained the illusion of republican institutions, true power rested with him. His long reign brought peace, prosperity, and reform. Roads, aqueducts, a standing army, police forces, and public services transformed Rome into a stable empire. After Augustus, emperors varied greatly. Tiberius ruled competently, but grew paranoid. Caligula followed, ruling brutally and declaring himself divine before being assassinated. Claudius, once underestimated, proved an effective ruler and began the conquest of Britain. Nero, his successor, became infamous for cruelty and extravagance. After revolts and loss of support, Nero took his own life. Following chaos, Emperor Vespasian restored stability in finances, beginning construction of the Colosseum. His sons Titus and Domitian ruled next. Domitian's authoritarian rule ended in assassination despite relative prosperity. The 2nd century AD marked Rome's golden age under emperors like Trajan, who expanded the empire, Hadrian, who fortified its borders, and Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher-emperor. His son Commodus proved incompetent and was murdered, triggering instability. The 3rd century brought crisis, with rapid changes in leadership and constant conflict. Emperor Diocletian restored order by dividing the empire into eastern and western halves ruled by multiple emperors. Though effective, Christians were harshly persecuted during this period. Eventually, Constantine rose to power. After winning a civil war, he legalized Christianity and reshaped Roman society. He founded a new capital at Byzantium, later known as Constantinople, which became the heart of the Eastern Roman Empire. Over time, the empire permanently split. In 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire collapsed under pressure from invasions and internal decline. The Eastern Empire, known as the Byzantine Empire, survived for nearly 1,000 more years until its fall in 1453. Rome's empire may have fallen, but its legacy continues to shape the world.